Nobody is safe. Even at your home, you are not safe. No matter your age, no matter what your work, everybody faces death every moment, day and night, because kidnapping, killing everywhere, shooting everywhere, uh, among resistance, insurgents, uh, theft and kidnapping, American troops. They shoot randomly people. If they hear some noise here and there, they start to shoot everybody around. And many civilians died through this kind of shooting. So it's difficult, in addition to shortage in essential needs. For days, sometimes we don't have electricity. We don't have cold water to drink. We can't keep our food fresh. Everything spoils. Our kids study on candlelight to prepare their assignments to go to school. Household is very difficult. We can't use washing machine or, any apparatus needs power, and sometimes we can't. Sometimes they give it only 2 hours and that's it. And we have to rush after this 2 hours to do the task we can do. Winter is very cold and there is no heating because there is no power, no petrol to have the stove on, no ACs, elevators for uprise buildings. People sometimes, they live in 15 level buildings. They left their places because it's difficult for them to go up and come down 15 levels just by stairs. I know a university professor, this uprise building, some of them used by university professors. He died because he had a heart attack and they couldn't bring him down. There was no elevator and he died. Hospitals are very bad. Of course, they lost many of their equipments and instruments during wartime. Medications are short, very short. People with the chronic diseases used to have their monthly share of medications from government hospital in the past, and the reserve continued for a few months, and that's it. They can't get it now. Even in private pharmacies, it is not available, and if it is there, it's so expensive. Many people can't afford. Of course, any kind of disease just crosses your mind. It's there in Baghdad. High rate of cancer, leukemia among children, newborns with so many defects, abnormal, due to depleted uranium their fathers had during the first Gulf War, kidney failure because of chemicals and water pollution, waterborne diseases, cholera, hepatitis, typhoid, tuberculosis. I received an article mentioning that the tuberculosis, which had disappeared from Iraq for 2 decades now, coming back, and in one spot they recorded 400 new cases, and the doctor in that clinic screaming, saying we don't have X-ray machine to scan people, and there is no medication for them for treatment. Each course of treatment costs $500, and nobody can afford that if it is available, and of course it's not. It's difficult. Everything is difficult in Iraq. Already the educational system corrupted during the sanction time. 13 years of sanctions, everything corrupted at that time, and now it's worse. Building of schools needs not only renovation, as my college usually before we start from 8:30 till 5:30. because we have laboratories for science students. Now we tighten the schedule from 9 to 1:30, 4 hours, no less, yeah, 4 hours and a half. We have to do as much as we can. In addition, no power, no material for practical work, and the education is going down. Although students are coming to schools, they are very keen to finish the year, and but the quality of education is very bad. Among even the members of the same family, because they spend hours in darkness, hot weather, so they start to argue, and friction, and divorce rate increased, and well, life turned upside down. No social life at all. No restaurants, no movies, no entertainment for anybody. Even you can't walk in the street. So it's hell. Every Iraqi knows that this war, because of oil, first, and second, because the strategic position of Iraq, very important, at the center of the world, and the position of Iraq towards other Arab countries. So 3 birds in 1 shot. When they did for the last few months, just painting the walls and that's it. No, it's something deeper. The playing yards for students to be improved, restrooms, classrooms, they need computers, they need school, they need a lot of things, and they are lacking. I teach parasitology, which is a science deals with some kind of agents which cause diseases in human and animals as well. And for practical part of this study, we need lab, we need microscopes, we need specimens, we need slides. We don't have them. During war, everything gone. Slides were smashed, microscopes were stolen. Even we have them now, 1 or 2. Either they are not working or there is no power to operate them. I gave exams to my students before I depart to the States. We draw pictures on papers, and the question, identify the specimen. You see, this is the 4th grade college student, will be graduated, heading to his work. So this is the kind of education now in Iraq. Everybody needs training, refreshing the knowledge of information, because we cut from the world since '80, since the beginning of Iraqi-Irani war, then the first Gulf War, then the sanctions, which are terrible. You can't imagine what happened to the community during that time, 13 years, and then 2003, and the worst, the 27 months we are living now, the worst. People are frustrated, hopeless, especially youth. They can't get their essential needs, fear everywhere. Approached Baghdad, and there was no resistance in Baghdad. All men disappeared, all Saddam's men disappeared. Nobody can tell what happened at that moment, but later we figured that. And they told us that they received command from somebody. Tell the troops, everybody leave home. So that is the plan, was to give Baghdad on a plate to the Americans when they arrived at Baghdad. This area where the statue is, or was, you can say it's a rich area, because 5 stars hotel on the left and the right, and middle class club is there, social club and restaurants, and the people you saw, they show their standard. They're poor people from where they came. I can't understand. And how they figure out that Americans with their, I don't know, you call it crane or whatever, to pull out the statue will be there. Because wherever you go, you find statues of Saddam Hussein, and bigger than that one. Why here? Who told them, come here? Somebody told them. There is a scenario for that. And nothing happened in the country. Nobody except their presence in the country. Everybody was shocked, except the looters and the thieves. They were happy, of course. And these men, or whatever, these are criminals. Saddam Hussein released them before war, a week or 2 weeks before war, 100,000 criminals. Just release them to the streets. They were in prison. Release them to the streets. And this is a good chance for them. Everything is free. And American troops, they help them. They open the gates for people and say, come in, come in, come in. And they start looting all the institutions and ministries and corrupt everything except Ministry of Oil. It is next to my place, my home. Ministry of Oil, Ministry of Communication, Ministry of Water Resources, and the Olympics. Only Ministry of Oil surrounded by troops, and the rest three looted several times and burned several times, 4 days. 4 days. Nobody cared about what's going there. And if you see this CD, there is a man, handicapped man, a simple man, naive man on the street. And he's talking to the reporter saying, this chaos created in our, this is the first day of occupation in Baghdad, in Sahat al-Tahrir, the center of Baghdad, opposite to the green zone, the other side of the bridge. And he's saying, he's holding a flower in his hand, and he's saying, we are peace people. We are looking for peace. You came here, US, Britain, you are responsible for what's going on in the country. And if you will not control the situation, now they are looting and burning governmental places and institutes. Next year they will kill and kidnap and loot civilians. And this is what's going on. He's just predicting or anticipating what's going to be. And this is what's going on now in Iraq. Bremer Kawi group or Al-Qaeda group, they came from outside Iraq. They caught several from Saudi Arabia, from Sudan, from South Africa, from Philippines, from Somalia, from Syria. They are coming from Syria, of course, because the American troops left the borders open for months. And up till now, it's not that controlled. During Saddam Hussein time, the regime was cruel, was bad, but I said there was security. It's not for us, for them, but we were secured. Not a bird can cross the borders without permission. And all of a sudden, everything is open. People come and go, and nobody asks them, who are you, what are you doing, what you have with you. No permission, no, nothing. So the soil is ready, prepared for such kind of people to come. Everybody wants to fight America. It's an easy hunt in Iraq, troops everywhere. So the chaos started. And of course now they are not only attacking the US troops, civilians as well. Because they are planting something and waiting for a vehicle or a hammer or whatever to pass by. And at the same time, there are many civilians because troops are crossing the streets every hour, every minute. in Baghdad, and many times I pass in a taxi. I don't use my car; it's dangerous for me. Pass by American troops. Believe me, I put my hands on my chest and pray to God just to pass safely, because I don't know when and whom going to attack them, and we are just passing beside them. 3, 4 times I have bombing around my place and all the glass shattered. And thanks God, the administration dismantled all the military men to the streets, and they have no money. And each one of them has a family. So how many, if you count the total number? Ministry of Information, all the employees released to the streets, even receptionists. They have nothing to do with Saddam Hussein. He's just ordinary person, all without payment. People are hungry. So if they find somebody paying them, they will follow that person. No matter what, who's he or what they're going to do. They want to feed their kids, their families. They want to go to buy medications. So poverty, jobless people increased the support to people who are making, the suicide bombs or implanting dynamite on work sites or whatever. People don't accept occupation. And part of it, gangs and insurgents. And some of them, you can say from Azar. Nobody hurt. So nobody safe. This is inside my home. So what about walking in the streets, going to work? Nobody's secured. They should concern about human needs. They have strategies to fight insurgency and fight resistance. They will not succeed. America will not succeed. Since the human needs is there, they have to meet the people's needs. They should improve their daily life. I think security will be there for people, and things will be changed by time. If you talk about America as a nation, as people, most Iraqis don't know you. They haven't met you as a human. But all what they know is your ugly film and the ugly acts of troops. So they have a very bad image of you. Sorry to say that. It's a black image. And certainly you have the same black image of Iraqis or Arabs or Muslims. They're all terrorists. And I am here to show you the face of civilian Iraqi. We are not terrorists. We love peace. And our religion, Islam, means peace. So we are looking for peace for ourselves and to every creature on this world. Everybody is losing. America is losing, and Iraq is losing as well. More bloodshedding on both sides. We must find a way to bring peace to both nations. It's now important for me to start the civil work or the social work for the benefit of my students. As I said, we were isolated, especially the youth. They have no idea what's going on, how people live in peace, because all what they know is war and violence up till now. So I founded my organization, which is a New Horizon for Women. It's actually, first it founded mainly for women, but boys or males, they object. Why for them, not for us? So we invite them to attend our meetings and workshops. the core of this foundation is education, to bring awareness to students, to capacity building and character building of our new generation. They are the future of Iraq. So we need to spend money on them, efforts on them, to have the new leaders of new Iraq well prepared to lead the country. We are working with very limited facilities. We have no funding for our work. All what we do is personal efforts. Before I came here, I had 2 workshops on constitution, because we are now drafting our constitution, and it is very critical time for us to bring awareness about the meaning of constitution, what does it contain, what are the critical points, where to put our emphasis. It was a very good workshop. We made CDs on that workshop, spread to every attendee, to every, well, not every, 16 of the governorates to work on that piece of work, which is, I think it was good and important too. And we work with young girls between 10 to 12, elementary school girls, again to empower them, because you know every Iraqi now, not only because of this war, because what we faced during the past decades, we all are over traumatized, and everybody needs psychological treatment, but nobody take care of that because it's not tangible. The tangible issues nobody care about. What about the things inside? So our suffering is inside, and I hope I can do something for my students, for our kids, to have some kind of training for teachers, or to have a place for with some trained psychiatrists to accept the kids, to treat them and send them back home, not for dorm but for a short period on intervals, at least to bring recovery, healing for part of our community. People of US and people of Iraq are the majority if we compare their number with the politicians of the 2 countries. And we need our voices to be high, to raise up our voices, calling for peace. And this might not hit any ear now, but I'm sure if we'll continue with work on that issue, with maybe some training or informations passed to our people to empower them, I think very soon we can reach the point we are all aiming to get.